headlines is the most intriguing for you?
They all are intriguing and of interest because they all impinge on Nigeria's life and life of Nigerians. So everything here is interesting. But let's look at the CBN interest rate. It's we find it appearing everywhere, and even the man in charge said they must continue to increase interest rate. And there's a headline in Guardian who said there's a growing joblessness, and then self-employed now reduces tax that these people can pay to Nigerians. And it's like we are on the part of still experiencing hardship. There's no hope in sight from any side of it. If you start a business in Nigeria and if you have to borrow from bank to do it and the interest rate is so high, you put that one aside as a cost to deal with. You come back to go to the market to buy diesel, to generate power, to run that organization. You have to pay the Nigerians you employ 70,000 naira minimum wage. Because if you don't pay, you go to jail. Then there are so many things that has made it so much difficult. It's like all these, I keep wondering where our specialist the economists and the strategic planners for this nation. There is, every day you wake up with the headlines, you're asking me for intriguing headlines. Nothing is giving me hope. I'm not seeing anything that's giving me hope. And it's my opinion. But I know I'm not alone. If the ones who have the little hope some people have in Nigeria is money they have grabbed. But over time, the same money will deplete because the cost of living in Nigeria cannot even survive with the ones they call the richest of them all. So that's one. Increase interest rate every day. And we are told, it's like the man, just mentioned his name, then we will continue to increase as far as there is the need to. So telling Nigerians, brace up.
There's no end in sight, basically.
That's one.
But I just want to say something. In countries that are developed, I mean, if you look at the UK, the US, France, Germany, I mean, you can try and Google that if you can. Those countries' interest rates, none of them is more than 10%. They are all around between 3.5% and 7.588%. Because, I mean, they want you to do business, to get loans and be able to pay back. Because that's what government is. Be able to provide loans for small businesses to thrive. If the interest rate is high, how do you expect businesses to thrive? And then every day we shout about unemployment rate increasing. So it's no brainer. I mean, we already see where this is coming from. So I'm wondering, really, you had mentioned that you don't even know who are the economic advisors of this particular government. And those who are there should be doing something in this direction. Why are we not always looking at the templates other world leaders in economy are doing? But when it comes to minimum wage, there's this tendency to try to, compare us with other countries and the fact that, they are doing well better than us and all of those things. And I'm just thinking, really, why are we not following those templates by organizations and countries that have developed to the point of giving interest rate within this range?
I've said it here many times, Charles. I say Nigeria looks like they want to live in another planet. So you stop the world, put Nigeria, create another planet called Niger, put Nigeria inside, allow the world to move on. This is a country where we just speak and talk. Some people will just make statements which are all political. Nothing is put to work. Then, when it's convenient for them, you may do comparison. Nothing on the ground that's making us to look deep within us. If you want to cripple any nation, you tax them.
Absolutely.
And then Nigeria is even going to crumble because the people that will pay the tax are not doing it. That's what the headline interests me so much. And then the second one that interests me is on this day, the 79th United Nations General Assembly, our president is seeking for debt forgiveness for Nigeria and other developing nations. And he just come to me and said, dear president, why not ask for them to forgive Nigeria? Leave other ones you call developing nations because they are far ahead of Nigeria. Then don't group anybody with Nigeria. There's no nation in the world now you can find the same level of what I call it, underdevelopment. You can't group Nigeria in any nation in Nigeria of underdevelopment. If you do it, it's just to sound politically right. We are entirely on our own. And we don't have future for, if you ask somebody, how many years ago that the coordinating minister, Konji, fought tooth and nail to convince, because of the confidence they build in her, to convince the management of Nigeria, the governance system of Nigeria, to think about moving with all high level of diplomatic moves to get the G34 and all the Paris Club to forgive Nigeria of debt. Within few years, I don't think it's up to a decade, it's not up to 5 years, let's say 8 years, after, we have redoubled our debt we are owing to the world. And these are the people you are asking to forgive you of debt. What are on the ground that shows, what body language shows the people you are talking to show that you even need debt forgiveness? Most international communities, those people who look at Nigeria as, how do I describe them? They are not showing any sign that if you give these people money, not even that when you borrow them money, not that when you forgive them debt, they will not go back and accumulate those debts. So, with the presidential jet and the body language of our president, the way he lives, does he live like a president that is ruling a nation that requires debt forgiveness? With our National Assembly, all of them moving with a car that is more than above 200 million SUV, that's one car. And they earn salaries and allowances that move up to 21 million in a month or more or above. We didn't capture that because there's a lot of secrecy within that. And they live in a house where they are provided and paid for everything. They even buy the newspaper in digital age, millions of naira every month. They sum up. If you are a country that Nigeria is owing, you will forgive them their debt. Why are we wasting our time? Yeah. With the life we are living, as even the people leading us, they have not shown any body language that we are a poor nation. It's only when people see it, you have to show it. You have to. The Bible says if you want to mourn, you cover yourself with ashes and wear sackcloth and all that kind of. But Nigeria, we live like there's no tomorrow. And that is why I feel that. And then second one, we have talked about this United Nations General Assembly, the 79. We are looking for a security seat. Yeah. Permanent security seat. The same thing. That if I am campaigning in a decent nation, I put my poster on the wall, you go back and look at my president and say, this is a person that you can vote for. If I am seeking for position, and you look at me and you find so many things that are against me, and the world, they think the world is not watching Nigeria, a nation that do not have a rule of law, the court will decide, they will go back and do all that thing. Even the international community will be advising, look at this, look at this. So many things, international bilateral agreement, so many policies of the world that rule the world, we have been signatory to as a nation. We fail to follow them up. So when you put such nation in security general, permanent security position in United Nations, what will you be contributing there? If you want to go to equity, you go to with clean hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's important that that happens. Every year we do this General Assembly comes on. You see countries making speeches on what they're doing for their nation and how they're transitioning from one point to another, what their contributions to the world is. But every now and then, what we go there to do is to beg. for a country that has numerous, for a continent that has a wonderful landscape and resources, mineral resources that doubles what we see in Europe. I mean, there is really no need for African leaders to go to the UNGA to go and start begging for debt relief.
Wizard, when you see other nations sitting on the permanent seat of Security Assembly, you look at, if it's only that Nigeria sacrifice our boys to serve in international peace keeping missions, if that's the only thing that they put Nigeria, then you mean that we still have up to about 10 criteria. Because other people sitting there have more than that, such criteria. So if we only score one and we're asking for permanent, what happens to that one? What happened to all the criteria of rule of law, respect for human rights in the nation, then the human index development, and all that kind of, international signed the policies and that Nigeria signed, but they go back and they live in their own. So we have a lot of work to do. Who wants Nigeria to be in this permanent? But then there's no need pushing for when we know we don't have what it takes to be there. So let's work on ourselves. When we reach there, we go there. Good luck, Jonathan said, Edo Guba Pool has proven that proof technology cannot solve a Nigerian electoral position. So meaning, there's one animal in my place, they say, whatever makes that animal to smell, the he-goat. What makes he-goat to smell is right inside the he-goat. What is making Nigerian electoral system to be the way it is within us. Leave technology alone. That's why I tell you, Nigeria is totally a different country, isolated on its own, live their own life. And they cause all the trouble in the world, and they think they're within this world. With what we behave, we'll be ashamed to call ourselves that belonging to this world in 2024. All technologies, IRF, we will buy with so much money. Beavers, we will devote budgets. How much it cost us to organize presidential election? At the end of it all, the whole hope crashed. What cost it technology? Leave technology alone. Nigerians do not want the politicians and the Nigerians who are involved. Tell yourself the truth. You do not want to apply technology to solve a problem. You just want to rig elections. That's all. Like yesterday I was saying, do you know that with IREV, if I punch, the numbers will be counted? Have you seen the stock exchange?
Yes, reading. Yeah.
Have you seen international trade, even Nigeria stock exchange? Go there and see how appreciation of and falling, all these things go. As you are punching, it's real time. As people are punching and the information is being uploaded, you don't need all these things. So, good luck, Jonathan. That's another thing that interests me, because when Good Luck Jonathan talks in Nigeria, it's one of the people that when they talk, I want to look at what they say. Yeah, he is right. What is making he go to smell is inside. What is making Nigeria to still find herself in the electoral process we find ourselves is in the character of all the actors, the politicians who are hell-bent on grabbing power by all means. We have had the language of grab power, run with it, do this, and we think it's a joke. A lot of people are still applying it. That's why I say, when the big goat, the big she-goat is eating on the fodders, the small goats are watching the mouth.
Anyway, I mean, it's just so stunning. What we're seeing is just playing on our face. Justice Nyako withdraws from Nnamdi Kanu's case, and we saw how Nnamdi Kanu was explaining to journalists that accosted him in the courts, how, the judicial system has actually even been flawed, even with its own laws. He tried to explain, I don't know if our producers are there, could just bring that up just before we talk extensively about it. But Chris, I just wanted to find out from you, the thoughts brought forward by Kanu, what you felt about it, given that he made mention of certain sections of the Constitution, even the Supreme Court's pronouncements, asking him to go, they're bringing him back to the lower court.
And that's why I say this is a nation that they contradict themselves. And that's what Kanu is hanging on. Kanu said, this is a nation that when they rule, they even contradict their own law. The Supreme Court gave judgment, appeal court, all this one. So Is it not high time? Why the Justice Nyako has, I pity the woman. Because he find out that the judicial system may be trying to do something. But whatever force that want to make Nigeria judicial system look stupid, to contradict its own self, it's part of the thing that making the international community not to put us in the United Nations General Security Assembly. We are time bomb. We are security risk. And you want to go and sit on security positions. The highest court in your land is giving position. The world say, leave this man alone. If they are creative, if you find out that you have reached your remote, you release the man, rearrest him. But they are changing the rule in. That means they're just. So you see, you think these people are creative. The world is watching everybody, and it's real time. The world is all the information. Because when I saw that video, was saying, go to the internet, Google the judgments. You will see where the government, the Nigerian legal system, contradicted themselves. So you pity everybody at that high level. You see. So talk about every other smaller level. I said this Nigeria is the country of manipulators. I said it yesterday. I say it again. Let somebody prove me otherwise. And manipulating is at the level you have. So if you have the upper hand of level of manipulation, you manipulate real good, big. If you have the small one, you walk on the road, people say security forces are collecting bribe. And I told them, I said, some of you, with what you are doing here, I see that you can collect more bribes. Nigerians are a nation of corrupt people. Every Nigerian is corrupt. I think I share from there. So let them understand how corrupt we are. Until one day we say, I am tired of corruption. One day people will say, I am tired. This corruption has led us nowhere. It may take a long time, but until all of us look at the corruption in the face and say, you have destroyed this nation. But as far as we keep enjoying it, when it is look at how Nigerians, when it is convenient, they won't say the truth. Everybody will keep dumb. And they expect that things will change. We are laying good foundation for the destruction of Nigeria. Pity our founding fathers who sacrificed so much. Even the democracy, people are manipulating and making some sense statements that they don't even know when it started. If you follow the precedent of such people, you pity, you say, are these people the people making this statement? Contradictions have filled their head. You know, without sounding as if I'm being personal. Somebody like Oshiomhole, I watched his life. From the days of his activism in Labour, then he got to a point, and these are the point the man should be a senior citizen, trying to do so many things. Then politics will turn his brain upside down. He won't see what is good from what is right. For the being party, to sound party political correct, he will look at truth in the face and make some statements that he will come back and apologize and make. You know, he contradicts himself. If you look at what he did at the Oba's Palace in Benin, you start pitying him. You say, is this the much politics can do to a Nigeria? He used to be my model. That one of my names, so I was moderating a program when we are doing the 16th Zik of Africa birthday sometime. Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia was the guest speaker. And Oshiomhole was flown in from Geneva. He was attending International Labour Organization Congress. He has to come into Onitsha, in Osionira. And I was the master of ceremony. I addressed him as Adam's fuel, Oshiomhole. Because at that time, he was fighting government and they talking on truth that protecting the masses. Oh. Can he still do the same? Is it that his case has become that of a wig? That's this caterpillar, this heavy caterpillar, you call it a wig in Igbo land. When he was small, he was holding strongly to the tree. But when he grew big, he fell off and the chicken made a feast of a wig. And I look at there are many of them, I'm just using him as but he has disappointed me. He used to be my model. Things he say and do now, I'll only see swallowed in politics. I don't see anything that can make me look at my children and say, look at that man, he fought for Nigeria. All the fight he did, and most politicians do this. I'm just giving you a case study of how I feel about Nigeria. And these are the people, the world is watching us, 2024. Selfishness, political correctness, and all party politics will make you are not thinking about the future of billions of Nigerians that are coming behind you. It is a pity, and we need to be sorry for Nigeria.
Wow. I have to leave it there, really. because the time is gone. I mean, at that time, he wasn't eating at the table of the government. So
whatever they eat there that makes them speak from both sides of their mouth should be stopped. Reactions to Dangote's call for petrol subsidy removal. And it was my case that I was telling you as we pack. What price is Dangote's oil selling at? That's when we know whether you kill him because he said remove subsidy. And who are the headlines when they come? He says, trail. Which controversy is trailing? Who is trailing Dangote? They still trail among themselves. Confusion. Because Nigerians do not know how much Dangote's oil is selling. Because NNPCL are the people who are trailing the whole thing with. So if they allow us know, we will not know who is reacting. Because the man knew why he was saying, remove subsidy.
Yes. Because
he can produce and refine fuel in Nigeria without subsidy.
Yes.
And so why putting subsidy on importing and exporting and round robin, throwing and collecting back?
Automatically, subsidy has stopped. That's what it means.
That's what it means. And then the people who are afraid of subsidy are still saying this is a trail. Subsidy stopped with the Dangote refinery.
Right.
And the people, forces fighting Nigeria, do not want it to stand.
We have to let it go. I mean, it's just...
But I have to go. I can't finish Nigeria issue one day. Thank you very much, Charles. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Chris. And that is all we can take for the review. Let's move ahead to the next segment. Do stick with us.